Hi ladies and gents, it's Tilly coming to you with just a quick demonstration. There's a few videos on my channel in relation to this particular product, which is craft paper. Now, if you're doing quite a lot of work in, sort of one sitting, it can be very messy with using glues and glue sticks. And this was a happy accident. It's actually craft paper, 12 metres for $5, and it has a glossy insert, and it's actually wax, so it's eco-friendly. I've done a lot of research on it, and it saves actually doing the ironing, the cling wrap between your craft paper, your printed paper and cardstock. So I just buy, I'll just bring it up to you. I just buy this particular brand, which is the 80 DSM. I'm not understanding 120, 220. It's just really, really cheap, and I think I got this for probably about $4.95, I think. And so I'll just give you a rundown of, I'll just pull them all out of the box. Okay, here we go. So it gives them a backing, so they become really sturdy. So if you think of how flimsy your paper is, especially when it's only the 80 GSM, so if you're thinking of gluing that down to like manila folders or file folders or any cardstock to give them a bit of firmness, all you need is the craft and an iron. I've just got the iron on because I'm going to demonstrate, but it's like cardstock, I'm not quite sure. I'm hoping I'm in brain. I'm just on my kitchen cabinet at the moment. And then you can also journal on the back. So these I've just cut out tonight. I printed them out. It's the last run of my cheap printer, $30 at the post office, and I think I've got about 400 pages out of it so far, and it's down to its minimum, and it's printed out. That's the last of it. It's meant to be green. So, yeah. Anyway, these are just sort of the things that I've been, sort of cutting out after printing. And that's the last of it too. So it wasn't purple, but I suppose I can use it, in a purple journal with different things. So it's really sturdy. And the backing. So, you don't need to do any more because they're firm enough to put into a journal. That's a little envelope that I've got to actually score and create. And these are just strips. And these are just words. And these you create yourself. You just do little, little expressions and do the little arrows. And these are just printed words, so they're already rusted, distressed, but you can even distress it more. I'm just going to go around with a black pen. So it gives them some firmness and sturdiness, and you don't have to worry about glue sticks or glue adhesives, and they can get quite expensive, things in Australia are so dear. So when you think of $5 for 12 metres, and it can do a lot. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to demonstrate basically what I do. I'll just cut that down. And a lot of people were using cling wrap, and I'm thinking, why would you put your lungs through that? If you could smell the glue, the cling wrap melting plastic, it's already in your lungs. Okay, so I'm just going to cut this down. So if you've got some, baking paper, I'm not quite sure, parchment, but I'm actually going to see if I can make little baggies, like glassine baggies. I don't know what glassine is, but I'm sure you can, so you could probably make little baggies out of the baking paper. So all I do is, you've got the glossy side up, and now, because Yeah, hang on. Usually what I do, sometimes I'll do it this way. You don't necessarily have to put the baking paper on the top. It's when you're actually turning it over, because this is sticky and it will go into your iron. So that's when I do that. So I just go over it, you know, a few times and just make sure that all the edges are sealed. Now if you find that they're not, you know, when you're going to cut them up, then you can just add a tiny bit of glue or put them back underneath the iron. So I just make sure, and it's quite warm to touch, so let's see if I can cut straight. Yeah, it's quite warm, so just be careful you don't burn yourself. Okay, so you can see there from that to, you know, it's really sturdy. So I've been doing this on several things. I'll do another one. So that just goes, oh actually no, it goes there because I've got to cut them out. So just, this is an old dishcloth I use for my crafting. So I'm going to get these. And normally, if the counter is not too busy, I usually do quite a lot in one hit, but for demonstration purposes. So when you think of you know, get it all cut out, laid out, and just go iron, you'd be surprised how much you can get done in a very short time. I love this technique. Love this technique. So I'm just going to go around there and do the back side. Now it's up to you whichever way you want to do it. You know, and you get it really, really flat, and it does curl up, you know, after it, because it's hot, and then it just flattens out once it's cooled down. So that's all it takes. You know, it even takes less than that, but I'm just making sure. Yeah, it's quite warm. So. And it's a lot easy. I was doing fussy cutting with butterflies. You know, when you get the small butterflies. Yeah, I'll fussy cut them later. But it just shows you, you know, that they're really, really sturdy, you know, so when you're putting them in pockets and things like that, you don't need to have thick cardboard or cardstock, because this is sufficient enough. And, you know, and then you can write on the back, you know, if you wanted to create journaling lines, what I used to do is just get an old ruler and chip it away here and there and run it across my ink pad and just line it and create journaling lines. So that's just a simple way of making them firm, and yeah, I'll do another one while I'm here. May as well get them done. Also, okay, so here we have some journaling pages. Okay, they're the right way up. And, you know, when you're thinking of, I'm going to cut it down because I'll fold it in half. I'm a pretty straight cutter. Okay, so let's go. Okay, now when you think of you putting that in a journal, it's sort of a bit, you know, I wouldn't trust it. So just put it on your, there's the cat. What's she up to? I've got a rescue cat. And oh, she meows and meows and meows. Okay, so that's cut there, so I'll just cut that off. Now don't throw away your small pieces, because, you know, when you're making small words or something, you can use it. You know, waste not, want not. sure. Yep. Have we got enough? Move it over. I just think it's great, you know. And apparently it wasn't well received when I put the video up. You know, people were sort of raving on about this cling wrap, and you know, I put my 2 cents in and sort of said, you know, how dangerous it is, you know, like I went through throat cancer, so I don't want to be breathing any toxic fumes in. And this paper's eco-friendly, so it's a better alternative, you know, because if you can smell the plastic melting when you're using cling wrap or a plastic bag, it's already in your lungs, you know, and if you're doing a lot of it, you know, yeah, not very, very good. So there you go. So that's how quick it is. So, and sometimes when you're doing big pieces, you get this. So what you do, you just iron it back out. It doesn't take much. And there you go. You might have a tiny bit of crease, but there you go. You know, you've got some beautiful journaling cards. Bearing in mind, I'm quick at it. It's best to let it cool down before cutting them. But if you can hear the sound of it, okay, if you do paper, that to that, you know, yeah, it's really, so I hope this will help you. It's available in Australia. I'm not quite sure what if it's available in overseas. You might be able to buy it on Amazon, but my suggestion would be look it up. It's craft paper, 12 metres for $5 in Kmart, and once you've got the product code, then you can find where to maybe purchase it on Amazon. I was actually told that you can buy it like this in a ring, but that worked out too expensive. So there you go. You've got a nice little journal card, and it's got very faint lines on it, so you can create the same faint lines. You can probably, if you wanted to, you could probably put that through the printer because it's firm enough, and get some lines on there and then cut them out. So that's it from me. It's just a quick show and tell of what I've been up to. I've been away off the internet for a while, trying to get my health back into check, and lots of operations coming up. So I'm hoping that my recovery, I'm well enough to craft. I've still got some racks that I've got to send out that I promised, as I mentioned on the video prior to this. So I'll leave it be and get this up, and I'm just hoping this will help you. So there's lots of ideas. You know, I don't process the crafting as in advance is what I do. I just give it an idea, and then you can take it and make it your own and add to it. So at a later date, when I feel a bit more motivated, then I can actually up the ante or up the game and do more with the ideas. So it's just I've got tons of ideas. I put them out there, but I never complete them to a standard of or completion, you know, because my head goes to the next idea and the next idea and the next idea. But I'm learning to sort of overcome that and create something from scratch instead of just making it, you know, making the idea and the concept. But, you know, take it upon yourselves to do whatever you want to do with it. And until then, I'll see you in the next video. Bye for now.